Have you noticed how tired the human mind has become? Not just physically tired, but emotionally exhausted. Every day, millions of people wake up already overwhelmed. Before the sun even rises, the mind is racing. Notifications, pressure, comparison, fear, noise. And somewhere in the middle of all that chaos, people forget how to breathe. Not the kind of breathing that keeps the body alive, the kind that keeps the soul alive. So before you continue scrolling, before you move to the next distraction, take one deep breath, slowly, and ask yourself this: when was the last time your mind truly felt quiet? Not entertained, not distracted, not numb, but peaceful. The ancient Buddhist masters believed something powerful. A restless mind creates a restless life. And today, maybe for the first time in a long time, your mind is begging you to stop running. Because beneath your stress, beneath your anxiety, beneath the pressure to constantly become more, there is a version of you that is still calm, still whole, still worthy of peace. Tonight, or this morning, wherever you are in the world, this message may have found you for a reason. Maybe your heart has been carrying too much. Maybe you've been silently fighting battles nobody sees. Maybe you've smiled in front of others while feeling empty inside. Buddhism teaches that suffering does not begin because life is difficult. Suffering begins when the mind refuses to rest. And modern life has trained people to believe that resting is weakness. But the Buddha taught the opposite. Calm mind is not lazy. A peaceful heart is not unproductive. Slowing down is not failure. Sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is pause, take a deep breath, and return to the present moment. Because this moment right now is the only place where peace exists. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, now. The problem is that most people live trapped between regret and fear. Regret pulls the mind backward, fear pulls the mind forward, and the soul becomes stretched between two places that do not exist. That is why people feel mentally drained even when they have done nothing physically exhausting. The mind never stops moving. But Buddhism teaches something beautifully simple. You do not have to believe every thought you think. Imagine how different your life would feel if you stopped treating every anxious thought like truth. What if your mind was not your enemy? What if it was simply tired? Tired from overthinking. Tired from trying to control everything. Tired from carrying emotions that were never meant to stay forever. The Buddha once compared the human mind to muddy water. When the water is constantly disturbed, it remains cloudy. But when it becomes still, clarity naturally appears. You do not force the water to clear. You allow it. And maybe that is what your soul needs tonight. Not more pressure. Not another motivational speech. Not another race to win. Maybe your spirit simply needs stillness. Take another deep breath. Slowly, feel the air entering your body. For a moment, nothing else matters. Not your unfinished goals. Not the opinions of strangers. Not the mistakes you made years ago. Just this breath. This moment. This life. In Zen Buddhism, there is a quiet understanding that peace is not something you chase. Peace is something you remember. Because deep down, beneath the noise of the world, your natural state is calmness. Children understand this instinctively. They laugh freely. They watch the rain. They become fascinated by tiny moments. But adulthood teaches people to rush past life. People eat without tasting, listen without hearing, exist without feeling alive. And eventually, they forget themselves. That is why meditation became so important in Buddhist teachings. Meditation is not escaping reality. It is finally meeting reality without panic. When you sit quietly and observe your breath, something extraordinary begins to happen. First, the mind resists. Thoughts appear everywhere. Memories, embarrassments, worries about the future. But if you continue breathing gently, without fighting your thoughts, the storm slowly weakens. Not because the world changed, but because your relationship with the world changed. Most suffering grows from resistance. People resist change, resist uncertainty, resist aging, resist loss. But Buddhism teaches that life itself is movement. Everything changes. Every emotion, every season, every painful chapter. Even the sadness you carry right now will not last forever. That truth alone can heal the heart. Because many people secretly believe they will feel broken forever. But no feeling is permanent. Not anger, not loneliness, not fear. Like clouds moving across the sky, emotions come and go. The danger happens when people build their identity around temporary pain. They begin saying, "This is who I am." But Buddhism gently whispers, "No, this is only what you are experiencing right now. You are not your anxiety. You are not your worst memory. You are not the voice in your head that says you are falling behind. You are the awareness observing all of it. And awareness itself is peaceful." This is why breathing matters so much in Buddhist practice. The breath anchors the mind. Every deep breath tells the nervous system, "You are safe." And in today's world, safety has become rare. People are constantly stimulated, constantly comparing themselves online, constantly consuming negativity. The human mind was never designed to absorb this much noise. No wonder people cannot sleep. No wonder hearts feel heavy. No wonder silence feels uncomfortable. Because many people have forgotten how to simply be alone with themselves. But Zen monks spent centuries mastering solitude, not because they hated the world, but because they understood something modern society forgot. Silence heals. Not every answer arrives through thinking. Some answers arrive through stillness. Some wounds heal only when the mind becomes quiet enough to hear the soul again. So if your heart feels tired tonight, do not punish yourself for it. Do not call yourself weak. Even mountains need rest beneath the snow. Even the ocean becomes calm again after storms. And you too are allowed to slow down, allowed to breathe, allowed to heal. The modern world celebrates exhaustion. People brag about being busy. They wear stress like a badge of honor. But Buddhism asks a different question. What is the point of gaining the world if you lose your inner peace? A peaceful life is not an empty life. It is a meaningful one. Imagine waking up without immediately feeling pressure. Imagine eating slowly, walking slowly, breathing deeply. Imagine no longer feeling guilty for resting. This is the Zen way. Not a perfect life, a present life. And presence changes everything. Because when you fully arrive in the present moment, you begin noticing beauty again. The sound of rain, the warmth of tea, the softness of evening light, the quiet rhythm of your own breath. Small things become sacred when the mind finally slows down. And perhaps that is the hidden tragedy of modern living. People are searching for extraordinary happiness, while ignoring ordinary peace. But Buddhism teaches that enlightenment is not somewhere far away. It exists inside simple awareness, inside this breath, inside this moment, inside your ability to sit quietly and say, "For now, I am enough." And maybe those words are exactly what your heart needed to hear, because so many people spend their entire lives feeling inadequate, not successful enough, not attractive enough, not productive enough. But the Zen path teaches freedom from endless craving. The moment you stop chasing worthiness, peace begins entering your life, not because your problems disappear, but because your mind stops attacking itself. And that changes everything. There is a quiet kind of sadness many people carry without ever talking about it. A sadness that doesn't scream. It whispers. It appears in the middle of the night when the room becomes silent. It appears during long drives, during lonely mornings, during moments when the distractions finally disappear. And suddenly the mind begins speaking. For some people, the voice says, "You are behind in life." For others, it says, "You should have done more. You wasted time. You are not enough." But Buddhism teaches something deeply compassionate. The mind is often harshest when the heart is most exhausted. That is why healing cannot happen through self-hatred. A flower does not bloom faster because someone yells at it. And your soul will not heal through constant pressure. Take a deep breath. Again. Slowly. Notice how your body softens when you stop fighting yourself. This is the beginning of inner peace. Not perfection. Not becoming emotionless. Simply learning to sit beside your pain without becoming consumed by it. Zen monks understood this long before modern psychology existed. They knew the human mind becomes dangerous when left constantly distracted. Because distraction delays healing. Many people spend years running from themselves. They scroll endlessly, work endlessly, stay busy endlessly. Not because they are passionate, but because silence feels uncomfortable. Silence reveals unresolved emotions. and unresolved emotions eventually become suffering. But Buddhism never teaches people to fear suffering. Instead, it teaches people to understand it, because pain itself is not the enemy. Attachment is. Attachment to how life should have been. Attachment to old versions of ourselves. Attachment to expectations we cannot control. Imagine holding sand tightly in your hand. The harder you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Life works the same way. Peace arrives when the grip softens. This is why deep breathing feels so powerful. Breathing reminds the body that it does not need to hold everything so tightly. And maybe right now you are carrying too much. Too many worries. Too many expectations. Too many invisible emotional wounds. So for the next few moments, allow yourself to let go. Not forever. Just for now. Let the future rest. Let yesterday rest. And simply exist here. In Buddhism, there is a teaching that says, if you want to awaken, stop arguing with reality. That sentence alone can transform a life. Because so much mental suffering comes from resistance. People resist aging. Resist uncertainty. Resist endings. But life has always been temporary. The cherry blossoms fall. The seasons change. The moon disappears and returns again. Impermanence is not punishment. It is nature. And strangely, when you truly accept impermanence, fear begins losing its power. You start appreciating moments instead of trying to own them forever. You become softer, calmer, more grateful. A peaceful life is built from small moments fully experienced, not from constant achievement. Modern culture tells people they must constantly improve themselves to deserve happiness. But Zen wisdom says something radically different. You are already worthy of peace. Even now, even while healing, even while confused, even while tired. The Buddha never taught people to hate themselves into enlightenment. He taught awareness, compassion, presence. Imagine how different the world would feel if people treated their minds with gentleness instead of punishment. Most people speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to someone they love. And over time, that inner violence becomes emotional exhaustion. But tonight, maybe your mind does not need criticism. Maybe it needs kindness. Maybe your spirit is simply asking for rest. Take another slow breath. Feel the quietness hidden underneath your thoughts. It has always been there. Like the sky behind clouds. Thoughts come and go. Emotions rise and fall. But awareness remains. This is why meditation is so transformative. Meditation is not about becoming a different person. It is about remembering who you were before the world filled your mind with noise. Before comparison. Before pressure. Before fear convinced you that your value depended on productivity. In Zen temples, monks often practice sitting silently for hours. No phones. No endless stimulation. No need to prove anything. Just breath. Just presence. And in that silence, they discovered something profound. The mind naturally heals when given stillness. Modern life rarely allows this. People wake up checking notifications. They consume stress before even drinking water. The nervous system never gets a chance to breathe. No wonder anxiety feels endless. The human spirit was not designed for constant urgency. This is why so many people secretly fantasize about escaping, moving somewhere quiet, starting over, living slowly, because deep down the soul remembers peace, even if the mind forgets. And maybe that is why you clicked on this video. Not accidentally. Maybe some exhausted part of you was searching for stillness, searching for permission to pause. If so, let this moment become a reset for your spirit. You do not need to solve your entire life tonight. You do not need all the answers right now. Sometimes healing begins the moment a person stops demanding instant healing. Be patient with yourself. The moon does not rush to become full. A tree does not panic during winter. Nature understands timing better than humans do. Everything unfolds gradually, and so will your healing. Buddhism teaches that suffering increases when people try to control everything. But peace begins when people learn the art of allowing. Allowing emotions to move naturally. Allowing life to unfold. Allowing uncertainty without panic. This does not mean giving up. It means trusting that not every problem must be solved immediately. Some things heal quietly with time. Some answers arrive only after silence. And some transformations happen invisibly, like seeds growing underground before anyone sees flowers. Right now, there may be changes happening inside you that you cannot yet recognize. Maybe your heart is becoming stronger. Maybe your soul is becoming wiser. Maybe your mind is finally learning to slow down. Do not underestimate small moments of peace. A single calm breath can interrupt an entire cycle of anxiety. A single moment of awareness can change the direction of a person's life. This is why mindfulness matters. Mindfulness is not complicated. It simply means fully arriving where you already are. When drinking tea, just drink tea. When walking, just walk. When breathing, just breathe. Most people are physically present but mentally somewhere else. Always replaying the past. Always rehearsing the future. And because of that, they miss their actual lives. Zen Buddhism teaches that ordinary moments are sacred. Washing dishes can become meditation. Listening to rain can become prayer. Watching sunlight move across a room can become healing. Peace is not hidden in some distant mountain. Peace begins the moment the mind stops rushing away from the present. And yes, life will still contain pain. People you love may leave. Plans may fail. Some nights will still feel heavy. But a calm mind changes how suffering is carried. Imagine two people walking through the same storm. One fights the rain with anger. The other accepts the rain and keeps walking peacefully. The storm is identical. The experience is not. This is the power of inner stillness. And inner stillness can be practiced. Breath by breath. Moment by moment. Day by day. So tonight, before you sleep, before you return to the noise of the world, promise yourself something gentle. Promise yourself you will stop treating rest like weakness. Promise yourself you will breathe deeper. Move slower. Forgive yourself more often. And remember this. You are not failing because you feel tired. You are human. Even the Buddha rested beneath the Bodhi tree. Even enlightened souls needed silence. So allow yourself to rest too. Without guilt. Without shame. Without feeling like you must earn peace first. Because peace is not a reward. It is your natural state beneath all the noise. And the more you return to stillness, the more you return to yourself. At some point in life, every human being becomes tired of carrying invisible weight. Not physical weight. Emotional weight. The kind nobody sees. The pressure to stay strong. The fear of disappointing others. The exhaustion of pretending everything is okay. And eventually, the soul begins whispering, "Please slow down." But many people ignore that whisper until the body forces them to stop. Sleepless nights. Burnout. Anxiety. Emotional numbness. The modern world teaches people to keep pushing no matter how empty they feel inside. But Buddhism teaches something wiser. A peaceful mind is more valuable than endless achievement. Because what is the purpose of reaching every goal? If your spirit no longer feels alive, take a deep breath. Slowly, let the air fill your lungs. Notice how this simple act asks nothing from you. No perfection, no success, no performance. Just presence. Sometimes the deepest healing comes from realizing you do not have to constantly prove your worth. You are allowed to exist peacefully. You are allowed to rest without guilt. You are allowed to heal slowly. Zen philosophy reminds us that nature never rushes, yet everything becomes complete. The sun rises without stress. The rivers flow without force. The moon does not compete with the stars. Only humans believe they must constantly hurry to deserve happiness. And that hurry is silently destroying the mind. People move so fast they no longer hear their own hearts. So tonight, pause. Not because you are weak, but because your soul deserves kindness. Imagine sitting beside a quiet lake at sunrise. The world is silent. No notifications. No expectations. No pressure to become someone else. Only the sound of soft wind moving across the water. This is what meditation slowly creates inside the human spirit. An inner lake untouched by chaos. Yes, thoughts will still appear, but they no longer control you. This is one of the greatest lessons in Buddhism. You are not every thought passing through your mind. Thoughts are like birds crossing the sky. They arrive. They leave. But the sky remains peaceful. In the same way, awareness remains peaceful beneath mental noise. And when people finally understand this, their suffering begins to soften. Many people spend years fighting themselves internally, trying to eliminate sadness, trying to erase fear, trying to become emotionally perfect. But peace does not come from forcing emotions to disappear. Peace comes from learning not to drown inside them. A mindful person still feels sadness, still feels grief, still experiences difficult seasons, but they no longer become imprisoned by temporary emotions, because deep awareness creates space around pain, and inside that space healing begins. The Buddha once taught that holding on to anger is like holding a hot coal while expecting another person to burn. But many people hold emotional pain for years, not because they want to suffer, but because they do not know how to release it. So if your heart has been carrying resentment, disappointment, regret, breathe. You do not have to carry everything forever. Some chapters are meant to end. Some wounds are meant to become wisdom. And some people were only temporary teachers in your life. Zen wisdom often speaks about emptying the cup, because a cup already full cannot receive fresh tea. The mind works the same way. If your mind is constantly filled with fear, noise, and pressure, peace has nowhere to enter. That is why silence matters. That is why stillness matters. That is why moments like this matter. Right now, while listening to these words, you are doing something sacred. You are slowing down. And slowing down in today's world is an act of healing. The truth is, many people are not actually living. They are surviving, rushing from one distraction to another, ignoring their emotions, avoiding themselves. But eventually the soul asks for attention, not through words, through exhaustion. And maybe that exhaustion brought you here tonight. Maybe your spirit simply needed someone to remind you that life was never meant to feel like constant war inside your own mind. You deserve peace too. Not someday. Now. Not after becoming perfect. Now. Not after fixing every flaw. Now. Buddhism teaches that awakening begins the moment a person becomes fully present. Not trapped in regret. Not consumed by fear. Just awake to this moment. This breath. This heartbeat. There is something incredibly healing about realizing that this moment is enough. For a few minutes, you do not need to chase anything. You do not need to impress anyone. You do not need to carry the entire world on your shoulders. You can simply breathe. Slowly, gently, peacefully. And perhaps tonight, before sleep arrives, you can let go of something heavy. Maybe expectations. Maybe guilt. Maybe the belief that you must constantly struggle to deserve love. You do not need to earn your right to exist peacefully. A flower does not apologize for blooming slowly. The ocean does not apologize for resting quietly at dawn. Nature never rushes its beauty, and neither should you. Healing is not linear. Some days your mind will feel calm. Other days old emotions may return unexpectedly. That does not mean you failed. It means you are human. Zen Buddhism teaches compassion not only toward others, but toward yourself, especially yourself, because inner peace cannot grow in an environment of self-hatred. Speak gently to your mind. Your thoughts are listening. And when difficult days arrive, remember this. You have survived every painful moment that once convinced you it would destroy you. That alone is proof of your strength. Maybe not loud strength, but quiet strength. The kind that keeps breathing through difficult nights. The kind that keeps choosing hope even after disappointment. The kind that continues healing one soft breath at a time. So tonight, release the pressure to become everything at once. Life is not a race. You are not behind. Your journey does not need to look like anyone else's. A peaceful life is built slowly, morning by morning, breath by breath, moment by moment. And perhaps true happiness was never hidden inside achievement alone. Perhaps it was hidden inside presence, inside mindful breathing, inside watching sunsets without checking your phone, inside drinking tea slowly, inside forgiving yourself, inside learning to sit quietly without feeling empty. Because when the mind becomes still, ordinary life becomes beautiful again. The stars feel brighter, music sounds deeper, conversations feel warmer. Sleep becomes softer, and the heart remembers what safety feels like. So before this video ends, close your eyes for one final moment. Take the deepest breath you have taken today, and silently remind yourself, I do not need to carry everything tonight. Let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw soften. Let your thoughts drift like clouds across the sky. You are safe here. You are breathing. You are alive. And that is enough for this moment. If this message brought even a little peace to your heart, Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and become part of our peaceful journey here on Soft Zen Mind. This channel exists to help calm busy minds, heal emotional exhaustion, and bring gentle Buddhist wisdom into everyday life. Whenever the world feels too loud, you can return here. Until next time, breathe deeply, live slowly, and protect your inner peace.